Hey there, everyone. Welcome back for another edition of our Fantasy Football Podcast. As always, I'm Tom, your host, joined by Jamie, our resident Le'Veon Bell fan and Chiefs enthusiast,
Yes, sir.
and Alex, our resident Clyde Edwards-Helaire enthusiast and Le'Veon Bell hater.
Thanks for having me back, Tom.
Oh, of course, of
How's it
course. Got
going
to
today,
fill out
guys?
this. Yeah.
How's it going,
Oh, man.
everybody?
It's good. It's good.
It could be better, Jamie.
Well,
I hate Bell.
it couldn't be much better for Tom, though, because this is Tom's birthday episode, for those of
Oh,
you who
yeah.
don't
It's
know.
my birthday tomorrow. I turn 26. I have to get real insurance. It's an awful time. Stay and enjoy your childhood while you can, everyone.
Terrible
I
time.
urge you. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Tom.
All right. Well, today, thank you. We're going to talk about adjusting our expectations on some players going forward into the season because it's far enough into the season where we can safely say where some players seem to have landed in roles on their teams and they might not be exactly where we expected. We're also going to take a look at our draft, which we did in early August. I want to say we did our draft.
Sure did.
Yeah, early August, and we're gonna look at a pick or two on our teams and say, with hindsight, what we would have preferred to take in that position. So if we could take back one draft pick, if we could go back in time for precisely 60 seconds and go to that draft and say, wait, pass Tom, don't do it, don't draft him, take this player instead, who would it be? And hopefully we got some good answers. You guys ready to get started?
Sure am.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's jump right into it. Just a little news before we do those things. The Dolphins have decided to start Tua over Fitzpatrick. It's now Tua time. That is Fitz tragedy. Jamie, what do you think about the Tua Dolphins now?
There's too much unknown, right? I mean, Fitzpatrick was looking really good, and I'm a big fan of the if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I also think that young quarterbacks can always benefit from even a full year behind someone. If you look at, veteran Alex Smith training young up-and-comer Patrick Mahomes, you may have heard of him. That worked out well for them. So, I mean, I see no reason to rush it, but, I mean, if it works out, they'll look great.
You heard it here first, folks. Tua and Patrick Mahomes in the same sentence. Alex, any thoughts on the eighth passing of Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Yeah, I think it's so dumb. So your quarterback just won 2 games. You're now in front of the Patriots for the first time in forever.
Yep.
Your team has a shot at making the playoffs, especially with the expanded postseason. And you bench the guy you've been starting, and now there's why? What did he do bad that makes you bench him?
The
It definitely
only-
does.
How did he lose his spot?
Yeah,
The
Like,
only-
it
I'm
does seem
confused.
odd to get away
How-
from the hot hand.
Yeah, he's playing some of his best football. He's thrown like 3 TDs a game in the last 3 games, and you bench this man?
The only
What?
point I can
He
make.
couldn't have played better in some of those games. It's. I think it's dumb. Maybe it's better, but stupid.
I agree that it's dumb as hell, but the only point I could make is that maybe it's because teams don't have any scouting on Tua, or know what to expect from him, but that's a total long.
They'll
It's a
never know
dumb
what's
reason.
coming next with Tua.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
think
surprise.
they're just hearing the fans too much. The fans oh, Tua time. Oh, it's Tua. We're so excited for Tua. Whatever. We
Right.
didn't get Bell, so let's do something else spicy. Here's
Maybe.
Tua. He sat out. He went on the field after the game.
Oh,
Uh-oh. All right, hey there, we're back, everyone. A little technical difficulty. We got a message from the Dolphins ownership staff. They asked us to be a little nicer about the situation. So, Alex, you were just talking about how Fitzpatrick had really earned the spot and been doing well, and it seemed odd to go away from the hot hand.
Yeah, they're trying to censor me, Tom, but they can't. I just feel bad for Fitzpatrick. Mainly, the guy works so hard. He's been on so many teams, and he's finally just playing great football. He's been balling out this whole year, and he's lost, to the Seahawks, the Patriots, and Bills? Those are good teams. And,
They
this
weren't
guy,
blowouts.
he just... What?
they weren't blowouts.
They weren't blowouts. And this guy just lost his spot for no reason, except
It's-
let's try out the young guy instead of just
It's a
putting
shame.
the best quarterback on the field. I mean, I don't think that is a Tua now. I could be wrong, but
All right, well, we'll get into the ramifications of the Tua move later on when we're adjusting our expectations on players. Another little bit of news we wanted to cover here, as we mentioned in the intro of the show oh so long ago. We talked about Le'Veon Bell. He is currently staying at a hotel, motel, Holiday Inn in Kansas City somewhere, just quarantining until he passes that protocol and can join the Chiefs to practice with them because he's now a Chief. He was not a Chief when we last had this show. Now he is. So Alex down there drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the first round. Not too happy. Jamie up there drafted Le'Veon Bell in the third round. Probably very happy. Jamie, yeah, your thoughts on Le'Veon Bell being a Chief?
Fantasy wise, it obviously improves his stock a
Anything's better
little
than the
bit.
Jets.
Yeah, well,
Anything's
the
better than the
thing
Jets.
is, 30% of the Chiefs' touches is better than 70% of the Jets' touches. So
It's
I
probably
mean,
better than 100% of the Jets touches,
exactly.
honestly.
So no, I think fantasy wise, he actually goes up. But
All right, Alex.
As a Chiefs fan,
Oh yeah.
I did purchase that jersey immediately.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, for the team, it's a great move. They have Clyde, and that's about it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10
But
being like face red, 1 being I don't care. How mad are you about this as the Clyde owner?
I'm let's say a solid 7.
Yeah, like this is like
I
is
think
this
first of all,
yeah.
it's a classic move where you like just join like a team just to try to win a Super Bowl, even though he could go to the Bills and get way more time and be better in fantasy too.
And
But
not cut
instead,
into
you go
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
to the Chiefs, which is a way better team, a team that does a need like him, but he won't be the star back. He splits time at best. At worst, he gets like 30%. Um, uh, I think it's bad for both them. They're gonna both lose time. Well, for Bell, I guess it's better because it's the Jets. Or it's
Everything's
the
better than the
Chiefs.
Jets.
And he'll score touchdowns because Clyde was not doing that. But
Third down,
it sucks.
back, power back.
It sucks for Clyde, but he proved last week too that
Yeah, he
man
played really
can-
well versus the Bills. Rushed for a
Yeah,
lot.
that man can
A
get
lot.
some yards. So
All right.
Sure. Can.
Well, we'll get into some more depth with that and other team situations later. One more little piece of news I want to cover here that just came out today. It looks like the Seattle Seahawks are moving forward with trying to sign a wide receiver. He's currently not on any team. He was before. What was his name? I think it was Antonio Brown.
That's the one.
Yeah, it was him? Okay, yeah. So they're working on trying to sign
Which one was
Antonio
he?
Brown. He was, I think he was that one that was drafted like first overall in a lot of leagues, like a couple of years ago. Like that guy who was just like one of the best receivers ever, and then
the all-time Patriot. Yeah.
all-time Patriot, known for his
Yeah.
famous Miami Make-A-Wish game where he came out and caught a bunch of passes from Tom Brady,
Yeah, he got a
and
touchdown.
then some bad stuff happened that isn't good. But he that doesn't make him any worse at football. So for fantasy football purposes, do you think it's worth adding him, Alex?
Yeah, if you have the spot. This guy will be signed if it's not by the Seahawks. It'll be by someone else.
Yeah, some team is gonna
And
he's
he's
gonna
such
get into the league.
he's such a talent. I mean, he's Antonio Brown, so we don't know how long he'll be playing or if he'll get dropped or whatever. But I mean, he could be like great. So pick him up.
Jamie, do you think that he'll actually get to play, or the league will slap a suspension down the second he signs with the team?
I think he's serving it now, right?
He's
He
serving
is,
it
but
now,
they
but
could
have the ability to
they could
extend
always
it.
come out with another. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, he's owned in 5% of leagues right now. I think it's worth picking him up. I mean, you may as well sit on it, and if they just wait it out, especially if you're a league with like a 6 or higher bench size, there's someone you can drop. So sit on it for a week or two. If a harsher sentence gets thrown out, then maybe you can just drop him again, and no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
If not, you struck gold.
Yeah, like worst comes to worst, you wasted a bench spot for 2 weeks. That sucks, but I mean, hey, it happens.
I mean,
Best
I'm starting
case
him
scenario,
next week.
you get Antonio Brown. That sounds pretty good to me off of waivers in week 6. I would like that.
Yeah.
I would like that very much, but someone beat me to it in both leagues, so what can you do? Gonna have to find somebody else. All right, Jamie, you want to pull up that graphic of our draft? We're gonna go right into that and talk about some things that we would like to change if we knew then what we knew now.
Sure. All right, the graphic is up. Everyone can still see us.
Oh yeah, perfect. Let them see all the mistakes that I made. I felt so good about my draft when we drafted in early August, I want to say, and I just feel so horrible looking at it now.
For reference, I'm drafting from the 1 spot here, everybody. Tom is drafting from the 2 spot. Alex is drafting from the 6 spot here.
Sluts for Lutz.
Yeah. All right, Jamie, how about you go first? You can lead us off with someone you'd have.
I wish I did not make.
Yeah.
So,
Who would you have rather picked and why?
In my second round, you may notice I picked someone whose name rhymes with Bernard Fournette.
Yes, that would be Leonard
that would be
Fournette.
the previous Jacksonville star, Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, he was still a Jacksonville Jaguar at the time, I think, of this draft, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. I was
Yeah.
I was anticipating him to play,
Mhm.
but anyway, I obviously wish I did not do that. That was probably the one that bit me the hardest out of all my picks.
So what would you have chosen there, knowing what you know now, if you could?
Knowing everything I know now, I think the right pick would have been Mahomes.
Really?
I mean, look at it, because you got the RBs around there, Carson and Gurley, you can take, but they're, for what we were expecting, slight downgrades. Godwin looked like a steal, but again, he hasn't even played a lot, and he's missed, 2 or 3 games and hasn't shined super hard. Mahomes is, I think he has the second most fantasy points in the league, right, or in the, of all players right now.
He's definitely got a lot.
Yeah, I think he's kind of the no-brainer as far as what would have been the smart play.
All right. Alex, what about you? Looking at your draft, what's the one thing you wish you could redo? What would you change?
Oh man, it's tough because my draft is pretty all right, and I could say Clyde because of what happened with Bell, but I'm gonna have to say Kenyon Drake he's my second pick, and he's not been like an RB2. He's had one good week this whole time, which was last week, so hopefully that's good news for things to come. But that was also against a Cowboys team that just has the worst defense.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty
I
bad.
don't know if that's gonna keep up. And Drake's been a big letdown, man. He's even last week he only caught 2 passes. His job was supposed to be to catch passes, which he's not doing. So he is my redo pick.
Who would you have taken instead of him?
Oh,
if
see,
you
that's tough because I'm seeing who went after him, and Jacobs. He's not doing. He's been okay. He's been maybe RB2 flex. He's probably averaging, I think,
Really? I think
13
he's been doing better than that, I thought.
I don't know. He's been having some really off weeks. I'll get his
it.
stats up right now.
Pull up the stats.
Let's see.
Everybody's pulling up the stats. We all got to
Jacob's been
double check here.
inconsistent, which has been his problem. Yeah, he's been 35 in week 1, then 13, then
That's
9,
nice.
then 10, then 22. So he's been doing a lot better.
Definitely better than Drake, yeah.
A lot better than Drake. His worst week has been 9. So yeah, I guess he's a guy I'd pick. Or who else went? We got Mixon. No, see, I don't know about Mixon either. I guess if I had to choose, it'd be Jacobs. He's been doing it better than I thought.
Right. I mean, Jacobs is definitely an incredibly consistent player for how far he fell, that's for sure.
Right.
There's looking at my draft, there's really there's a lot that I think I could have done better in hindsight. Again, like I said at the time, I was so excited because I had Saquon Barkley, Miles Sanders, Chris Carson. I had 2 good wide receivers. I felt so good, but looking at it now, I feel horrible. Obviously, the easy one for me is Barkley, but that's too easy.
Well,
no
hindsight.
cop-outs.
You
No
couldn't
cop-outs.
know.
Exactly.
You couldn't know he was going to
I
get
never would have known that.
Pick, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad
It's not
pick.
like he's
but
not performing.
Yeah,
got
exactly. I like to look at round 9 for me. Coming around that
Golden
to in
Tate,
the
huh?
round 8 and round 9. Yeah, you'll notice Golden
That's
Tate
what
there.
lost you. That's what put you in last place in our league. Is
That's
Golden
the
Tate.
pick you hate the most?
It's definitely one of the picks that I hate the most because I was struggling to find a quarterback for a while, and I forgot about the tendency in our league that people have to roster 2 quarterbacks for the entire season for some reason, especially early on in
Because
the
our
year.
bench sizes are too big, no matter how much we vote on it.
Yeah. Well, either way, there are quarterbacks available that I was super high on, like Josh Allen, Cam Newton. I could have grabbed one of those there and made my roster just so
Dude,
much
Allen would've been
better
a
than
steal.
it is. Yeah, Josh Allen there instead of Golden Tate. Why did I pick Golden Tate? Why do I like Golden Tate? Why do I think that he's going to be good? He's on the Giants.
Did you even draft a quarterback?
I did. I
Goff in the
drafted
15.
Jared Goff all the way down to the bottom there, right after my
They
kicker.
called me crazy for picking a Murray in round 5.
See, I was
They called me
thinking
a
that
madman.
I was thinking because everyone already had a quarterback, I would be fine to wait on it. And I could pick some other value player. So who do I pick as a value player? I pick Golden Tate. You know what the value of a Golden Tate is? It's not golden. I'll tell you that much.
About 4 points a week.
Who picked
About-
Drew Lock? That's funny.
Oh,
that
Kirk.
was Kirk right after me because I took Goff.
The 2 last place teams, yes. Good,
Yeah.
good.
There's a million other picks that I could have made though. Apparently, when I picked Gallman as Barkley's handcuff, that should have been shouldn't have been Deion Lewis either. It shouldn't have been any of the running backs that they had on their team. It should have been Devonta Freeman.
Well, that's just the classic argument that I always see about, like, is it worth rostering a handcuff behind this guy? Like how people now are saying that Gore is not even worth anything, even though he's the starter, which I kind of agree with.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I also see in round 7, right above that on my thing, on my draft, I took Julian Edelman, which isn't a terrible pick, but I see Darren Waller 3 picks after it, and I think I would have preferred Darren Waller.
And man, Julian Edelman led the league last year in drops, and he is continuing to do that. So
Alex, you're the as the resident Patriots expert. Is Julian Edelman dead? Like, is he gone?
Yeah, he's been hurt too many times. Last year, like I said, he led the league in drops. That's not a good thing for your star
Probably
receiver. He's still talented, but my man's been hurt too many times. It's tough.
Gross.
It's a shame. It's a shame. Love that player. Love to see that. Well, hate to see that, but love to see him play.
I'm surprised you didn't dislike your Akers pick the most, to be honest.
I took a shot on him working out as a rookie. I don't regret it as much as the others there. Are there any others that you would like to give back there, Jamie?
I have a decent bit of players I like to give back, but
Yeah.
a lot of it's just like hindsight calls.
Of course, yeah. I think that one's my biggest area, though. So, yeah, you heard it here first, folks. Don't draft Golden Tate in the 9th round. Don't take Leonard Fournette when he's going to get cut, and don't take Drake because he's not going to catch passes.
Also, the Tate one might not have been bad, right? Because if you
it might have just been, like, terrible.
If you look at C-Rob picking Robbie Anderson in the 12th, we read him the riot act about that. He is like one of the best receivers in the league right now.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. We
He's almost
did
like a
give him-
must start.
We were
sucked.
clowning him for that one. We're like, dude, you passed on Madison when you have Cook, and you picked Robbie Anderson.
He should have sucked, and he did not.
Robbie Anderson, but yeah, he picked the Robbie Anderson, and now he has 3 stud receivers on his team, and it hurts me.
You heard it.
Yeah. Oh man, rough times.
Jamie,
All right.
Yes.
Where's Boston Scott now? Did you drop him?
Oh,
I did,
while ago?
but
it's a great
he's on
pick right there.
McCullough's
It's a
team
great
now.
drop too. It's a great drop. Maybe
Well,
not
now
this
everyone
week.
wants to pick him up just for this week, but yeah.
Oh, I know. I tried, but I got beat by McAuliffe because
I
the
know.
people who should be carrying didn't have claims in for him. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, right. That's weird.
Yeah.
All right.
Boston
Well,
Scott gonna be good.
I think that's. I think we can put the draft board away for now.
Sure.
I can look at it and feel sad some other time. Let's get into some players that we need to adjust the expectations for.
All
and
right.
how about we just get started with the Dolphins first, because we talked about that whole situation with Tua starting. There's a few fantasy relevant players on the Dolphins. You have Gaskin and you have Parker, the two most notably, Mike Gesicki as well as a tight end in there. Alex, what do you think about the value of Gaskin going forward? Let's start with Gaskin.
Gaskin probably is going to stay around the same. I mean, like, he's a back. He might go up because when you're like a QB, you get scared and dump the ball off a lot to your back. It's very safe. So he could be great now. Like, he's still been good. He's still like a very startable guy. He's an RB2, RB1 even almost. So he's going to be good. The other guys, I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see. I haven't seen this guy play in whenever. He like handed the ball off twice and threw 2 passes on Sunday, and
They were beautiful passes.
They were beautiful passes for
Against
Start.
the Jets.
One would say
4 yards.
start worthy.
Yeah, startable passes. Those are starter passes right there.
Pick up Tua right now and start
Yeah.
him.
Well, how about the players
But
he's going to be
not
passing to,
spy week.
Jamie? What do you think about Devontae Parker?
Honestly, I feel like Devontae Parker and even notably like Preston Williams will go down a little bit because there's no chemistry, and B, I mean, this guy is sort of a scrambler anyway, so he's not
Right.
exactly
My
going to be
pen.
looking to drop like the most perfect dimes with his passes. He's going to be looking to read the defense and do where he can get his get the yards.
Yeah.
He gets what the defense gives him. Is what I'm trying to say, as opposed
Okay,
to
yeah,
being a guy who wants to throw a bomb.
a little
That's
bit
a good
less
point
less of
too,
that Fitz
because
magic.
Fitzpatrick is not afraid to throw picks.
Absolutely not.
He's thrown a bunch of this year as well, and
That's what happens. It's part of
which is
the
good if you have like Parker, because
part
just
of
like
what it
hey,
is.
try to force it in there, see what happens.
There have been some rumors about Fitzpatrick himself being traded from this team because he was playing good football. Do either of you guys think that's a possibility? Jamie, I'll throw it over to you first. Do you think that's possible?
Yeah, for sure. I think he's playing great football. I think uh, I have no idea if this is even like in the realm of possibility, but just as a random aside, a random take, I think he'd be way better than someone like Carson Wentz.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
I mean,
Don't trade him.
Don't trade him.
Don't trade him. You know what's gonna like happen, and Fitzpatrick will be the best backup in the league.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
and-
from the point of
No,
view
no,
of
you're
Dolphins, I
talking
agree. I'm
about
sorry.
Andy Dalton, best backup in the
Andy
league.
Dalton is now the best starter in the league, Tom.
That's debatable, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
If they do it, that's dumb. But we'll see.
Well, they'll probably be at least semi-smart about it. Wait a couple games out and see if it's feasible.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I want to be clear with my take that I wasn't just saying, "Oh yeah, ship him off to a season, baby." I was just saying, like, yeah, it's definitely feasible. Another team could absolutely use him because I do think he's definitely
Oh,
he's
of course,
at least
yeah.
in the top half of quarterbacks right now.
Tank 4-2, and now it's Tank.
Dude,
He
with-
looks
Is that
better,
a-
dude. He looks better than Drew Brees.
Is that like good thing about Fitzpatrick, or is that a bad thing about the state of the quarterbacks in the NFL right now?
I mean, for Drew Brees, that's a bad thing because Drew Brees is not playing that good. But I think it's more bad of the state of quarterbacks. There's a lot of quarterbacks that are just performing so poorly, like Wentz we talked
Wentz,
about already.
Cousins,
Yeah.
Brees,
Even
Goff,
Ryan
Ryan,
too. Yeah, Goff.
There's a lot, honestly, that I would rather have Fitzpatrick than. Yeah, well,
Stafford's been even underperforming a bit.
yeah, well. Either way, I'll rest in peace to Fitzpatrick for I think the 8th time in his career until he finds a 9th team to go to. And I'll have to just find another quarterback to replace Dak because I was looking at Fitzpatrick and I'm like, oh, this is nice, and now he's gone again. But speaking of
Andy Dalton.
quarterbacks, yeah. Speaking of Andy Dalton, best backup in the league, went into starting, and he didn't look like the best backup in the league. It might not have been. This might not be it, boys. So let's talk about the Cowboys. They're going to be moving forward with Andy Dalton, obviously, because they aren't moving forward with Dak Prescott. But it doesn't look like they're going to be moving forward very far. At least not on the field. They might be moving backward a little. Alex, what do you think about the value of the Cowboys pass catchers now that Dalton's in? Obviously, we expected a bit of a downgrade from Dak to Dalton, but how big is it?
It could be huge. He looked very bad, and that team is just I don't know what's wrong with it. If it's the coaching or if it's just actually Andy now, but dude, they're in trouble. I mean, Gallup has like already been doing terrible, even with Dak. He just hasn't been that guy. It's been CD. CD, and but now he might be hurt from it, and this is bad news because Dak is still I think in the top guy in yards.
He is,
and,
yeah.
Definitely.
And he
He
hasn't
missed a week.
and he hasn't even played like a full week. So that's a big deal. And these guys are going to be hurting.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, that's a good point. He was throwing for like 500 some odd yards just about
Yeah,
every
they would-
game,
Yep.
and now like
Oh, yeah.
you know, players like Fitzpatrick are throwing for like 320, which still is pretty good. It's just the number is lower
Dak
fantasy
was
wise.
just
We're just
Dak
caring
was
about
just
fantasy.
demolishing like passing records though going forward. Like he
course.
was
He was
obviously
on, he was
they
on
had
pace to break a bunch. Yeah.
He
Yeah,
loves
obviously.
garbage time.
Every minute's garbage time when your
He's the-
defense bleeds points.
Yeah. Sad.
And
to
Yeah,
when
see.
Dak
so-
turns the ball over.
Yeah, it looks like a real downgrade for all the Cowboys receivers there. Do you think this makes Like let's start with Cooper because he was the highest drafted Cowboys wide receiver. Alex, do you think this makes him? Is he still a wide receiver too? He's not a one
Uh,
anymore, right?
you hope he still is,
Didn't
because
they
I'd
just
still
move on?
start him.
Yeah. Oh
Uh,
yeah, I'm still starting him.
yeah,
But
I'd still start him. I mean, the guy's so talented. The ball will find him. Maybe they'll have more
Yeah,
time
he just had a
now,
really good
like
day,
weeks past.
despite how bad Dalton was. It's all good.
See, look at that.
He had
what about
7 for 79 with a touchdown.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's
That's okay.
pretty good for your
I'd be happy with that.
first outing with a quarterback.
Right.
All right,
So that's great.
Jamie. I don't suppose you have CD Lamb up with Dak there
With his stats,
for stats. Yeah.
I can.
That's
What
Dak's favorite guy.
uh well, doesn't matter who
Was.
Dak's favorite guy is now with this season. It matters
CeeDee
about
Lamb
Andy
has
Dalton.
had some pretty good. I mean, weeks 1 through
Yeah.
5, he's looking good. He's
Well,
11.
those don't matter. We're looking at week 6 now.
Yeah, still the same. 13.4 points. He got 7 catches for 64. So
That's
same
not awful.
same catches. Yardage was off by 1 or by 5 on Amari, but he got a
And
score.
now pull up Michael Gallup and
Oh,
see
I
his
don't
sad
wanna do
stats.
pull
I
up
think he
poor
had
Gallup.
one reception.
What
on Sunday.
what about Zeke in this scenario? Obviously, we saw him do a couple of fumbles last
Poor
game. He
Gallup.
did a real nice running back fumble, and one of the first one wasn't really his fault, I'll say, but the second one was just a straight up fumble. Any thoughts on Zeke? Is he going to get more work if this happens going forward with the Cowboys, or is he going to get less because they're just losing all the time?
That was what my point was going to be. I was going to say actually probably a little less because their offense is kind of what kept them in games, and now their offense as a whole is slightly worse, so their defense is going to get exposed even harder because they're not going to be able to stay on the field for as long.
Tough time to be a Cowboys fan, I guess. Let's dive into that other little
We have
piece of news
Alex.
we were talking about.
Oh, no,
Yeah, we
have
do.
Alex,
He's still
okay.
there.
Oh, he's catching up.
Look at him. He's hanging out right down there. Oh,
He-
uh-oh.
I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, hey, look at that. He snapped
Still
back
there.
to reality.
Nope,
All
it
right.
goes gravity.
Hey, not too much. We don't want to get taken down. Hey, cool it there. Cool it. Let's talk about, we talked a little about Le'Veon Bell and Clyde Edwards-Helaire going forward. Alex, you're the Clyde Edwards-Helaire owner now.
Yeah.
Do you think that he's a RB2, a flex, an RB1 still?
He's still a 1.
Still a 1?
Until you got to take his time away. He's still a 1 for now.
All right.
Is what I would say.
Hard agree.
He just had like a monster game. You can't bench a guy who does that. You're not like a Dolphins coach. All right.
Oh, I'm not talking.
You know,
I
just
don't mean like Le'Veon Bell's going to be RB1 for his team. I'm talking about in terms of fantasy. Like, is he still like a top 12?
right now, yeah. I'd
Okay.
say until proven
Until proven
don't
otherwise.
think
Yeah.
that he's not. Yeah, then he's an RB1. But
Okay.
who knows? It could be all Bell soon.
Yeah, I was going to say I would certainly be worried. I would think that his upside is kind of capped, and he's definitely a high tier RB2 who's going to get a lot of volume. But I think Le'Veon Bell just robs him of any upside because the Chiefs have a shiny new toy that they're going to want to play with around the goal line. And that means Le'Veon Bell. Like, this takes everything that we thought Clyde Edwards-Helaire could be at the start of the season when it's like, oh, a new star running back for the Chiefs. He's going to get so many rushing yards and all the touchdowns. Well, now one's going to get all the rushing yards and one's going to get all the touchdowns, I
mean,
think.
TDs when you though play with Andy Reid, he wants to throw him in. So it's still we'll see. We'll see.
That's true.
Jamie, any thoughts as the Bell owner?
I mean, I can basically just reiterate what Alex said, honestly, because, yeah, I think Clyde's the 1 until proven otherwise, and I only...
All right.
Even when I was asked about Le'Veon initially, I said, yeah, he'll be there for a third down power back, and that's probably it. Like, I love him. He's one of my favorite players, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire is still going to be the workhorse, I think.
Yeah, and he's the future running back of that team going forward. Like, he's young,
Right.
and Le'Veon's getting older, especially for a running
Yeah,
back.
football-wise, I mean, it's going to be great for him to learn from Le'Veon.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go to another running back here, Alex. I'm going to jump back to you because he's on your team as well. We talked
Ooh.
about him in who we would redo our picks with. Kenyon Drake. What do you think about Drake? What are your expectations for Drake now in Week 6?
Expectations for Drake are still not that high because what you want him to do is catch passes, and he's still just not doing that. Yeah, it's just hopefully he does, but it looks like it's not going to be a thing that he does. So he'll be okay, maybe. He'll need touchdowns now, is what it comes down to. He got two on Sunday, so we'll see if he can keep that up.
Mm-hmm. that'd be nice if he could, but we'll
It's not
see. Not
always
every defense is
Dallas.
the Cowboys' defense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jamie,
Right.
any thoughts on Kenyon Drake versus Chase Edmonds?
I think if you're a Drake owner, it's a pretty good time to try to sell him because he just had probably one of his best performances that he'll have all year. Um, but again, I really don't know because I still think he's such a dynamic and sick player that I want him to get all the touches and get Chase Edmonds out of there, but apparently his coach doesn't think so.
Right.
So,
Only so much we can do from here.
right. So, I mean, I think if I personally had him, I'd hold him just because I love the player. But if I'm looking at it from the outside, looking in and just judging it with no stake in anything, I think if I were the Kenyon Drake owner, I'd try to trade him.
All right. How much
Trying to
do?
hint to me, Jamie.
Oh yeah. Please trade him to me. Yeah. So he says. Jamie, how much do you love another player on your roster? Brandon Cooks. Or do you still
Now I
have
love him
him
a lot.
in any of your leagues?
You try to
I
drop
have them
that guy.
both.
You tried
Yeah?
to drop that guy.
I tried. I succeeded.
I put in a claim for him too.
Well, it looks
didn't
like
get
it's
him.
time to adjust our expectations. Houston has gotten rid of Bill O'Brien, who was, if you guys remember, he was the head coach, general manager, play caller, season ticket seller, #1 fan, head
Season
negotiator.
ruiner.
I think that he mowed the stadium. I think that he did some electrical work for them too there as well. He did a lot for them, and now that he's gone, suddenly the Texans look wicked good. Well, not wicked good, but they look way
Yeah.
better. Way better is a better way to say that. Yeah, Jamie, what are your thoughts on Brandon Cooks though right now?
So he's had 2 games with a new coach, who, to be
Mm-hmm.
fair, is just a fill-in guy right now, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's kind of the addition by subtraction
Hey,
thing.
that's not any fill-in coach. That's Romeo Crennel, the oldest
Yes.
head coach to ever head a coaching staff.
Yes. So a fill-in
Record
coach.
holder.
But anyway,
Record holder.
so he in the 2 games that guy's been back, or that guy's been coaching rather, he has 8 catches for 161 and a touchdown, and then the other game is 9 catches for 68 and a touchdown, giving him 30.1 points and 21.8 points, which are both like star receiver numbers. So hopefully Cooks is back. I just denied a pretty good trade today for him. Pretty good trade offer today for him.
What was the offer?
I got offered Hollywood Brown and Henry Ruggs for Cooks.
I would hold Cooks in that scenario too, I think.
Which I did deny, but
Alex, what do you think
I
about
think
that trade?
I think it's a fair trade. I just wanted to keep him.
I mean, I'm afraid to say because when I was here 2 weeks ago, about each thing I said turned out to be the opposite. I
Hey,
was one
sometimes
saying
it
like,
goes that
"Oh
way."
man, Brandon Cooks, nothing,
Yeah, no,
terrible."
I said the same thing.
awful.
At the start of the season, I said Brandon Cooks is
I
going to be a
want
wide
Cooks
receiver 1.
to do well, so I'm gonna say he's gonna be awful and drop
that'll
him
make it
right
happen.
now and hopefully he does well.
Yeah, I don't know. At the start of the season, one of the predictions that I made was that Brandon Cooks was going to have like a huge breakout year, return to form, and be like an excellent wide receiver. And yeah, like you said a couple weeks ago, I came on here and I said, all right, let's put that take to bed. Let's put Brandon Cooks to bed too. It's over. Sorry, Brandon. And now he heard that. I guess he watched. He's one of our viewers, and
Thank you,
he
Brandon.
said,
I
all right,
appreciate
Tom.
it.
Well, I think you're wrong. I think you're stupid, and I'm going to go out there and catch 17 passes now. Suck on that.
Well, no, coach is just lining him up better, putting him in more plays, making plays for him, I guess.
Hey, whatever happens. But let's talk about the other side of that trade, though, Jamie. Hollywood Brown. I think a lot of people drafted him to be a kind of a boomer bust wide receiver too, and a lot of people have gotten a lot of busts from him.
Mhm.
I have him in my work league. I've been trotting him out spot there, and I am looking for alternatives. I'm not cutting him yet, but I'm certainly looking to get anyone else there to fill in. I believe in the talent with Marquise Brown, but I don't believe in the passing volume on the Ravens offense because there is none. They want to hand the ball off on every single play, or they don't want to hand the ball off. They want to snap it to Lamar and let him take it. And they just they never pass the ball. There's so low passing volume on that offense.
If they
There's
pass
just
it,
not
it's
enough
to a
to
tight
sustain
end.
anyone. Yeah.
Including Boyle for some reason.
Yeah, sometimes it goes to Boyle of all people. Yeah, not to knock Boyle at all, but he's not the fantasy guy that we're looking for there.
Right.
Alex, you got anything to add on the Hollywood situation?
They have so many backs. It's like what Tom said. It's just what they have like three solid backs on their team, and then plus Lamar. So that offense is gonna run first, and they're gonna like run third and throw fourth. It's just it's not their top priority,
Right.
especially when they're up.
Yeah, exactly, and it's working. Like running on every play is working for
Well, they
them. They're
got like a
beating
good
teams.
defense too, so they
Yeah.
don't have to come back in most games and throw some crazy passes and make some big plays. Like, nah, we'll just kill the clock and run and do what we do
Right.
best.
Jamie, let's get into the other member of that offense on the passing side, Mark Andrews. He was drafted in pretty much every league as the third tight end off the board. Like people were saying, there's a new elite three. It's Mark Andrews, it's George Kittle, and it's Travis Kelce, and that's it. And Mark Andrews has also been very, very boom or bust, very, very touchdown dependent. What do you think about him going forward? Adjusting your expectations on him.
Yeah, your expectations should be definitely lower. I think someone like Waller, who in most drafts went after him, has been more consistent. And I'll definitely rather have a consistent 15 points in my spot than a chance at 4 or a chance at like 21 or something.
I agree.
So, yeah, I think depending on where your team's at, like if you're having those super close games, you might want to try to trade him for someone of equal value. But just because it might screw you over. But if you're someone who's losing by a decent bit, you might want to keep him because the boom could save you.
I think you still have to
Squeak out
start
some
him,
wins.
but
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
not a consistent player that you can just really trust. He's more of a, like I said, he's that boom bust. It's the touchdown or nothing for him.
Doesn't he have like 6 though?
He's got a lot of passing touchdowns, yeah. But it's
This year
it's
already, really?
we talked about his
Yeah,
stats earlier.
I thought Mark Andrews has been doing well. I think he has 6 touchdowns already.
It's he's doing well, but it's not how you want him to be doing well. It's
Yeah, he has
he's
5.
getting you 23,
5.
and then he's getting you 4 points, and then he's getting you 19 points, and then he's getting you 3 points.
Sure, but from my tight end, that's fine. I mean, who's a tight end that like puts up 10 plus
Waller. I was talking about.
Travis Kelce.
consistently?
I put up Waller.
Travis
Waller
Kelce.
Waller was the argument I just made.
Yeah, I think I would prefer to
Yeah,
have
but
Waller, but I
Waller's
mean,
been like the best guy though right now.
in the desolate
Yeah.
landscape
Waller's
of
gone-
tight end,
Waller
you can
went
do a
after
lot
him
worse.
in like every draft. The only reason I brought it up.
Right.
Mhm.
But Waller's done 10, 28, and then 2, and then 16, 16.
I think I'd rather
And then a bye week,
have
but-
the consistent
Of
passing
course,
volume.
we want a Waller, but I still don't think a Mark Andrews is bad. He's gotten like a 20 plus points for 3 weeks out of 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still
But
just
I
that
think
low
he's-
passing volume.
I
Just
think
is
he's
so
exclusively
scary.
boomed or busted though. Like they project him for 10, he'll get
Yeah.
20 or 5.
Oh yeah, it's been one or the other so far. There haven't been any of those like normal, consistent games in there. Let's talk about another tight end.
Keenan Allen-esque
sorry.
is all I was gonna say. Sorry.
Let's talk about another tight end in there that we wanted to talk about. Alex, I'll throw this one over to you first.
Yes.
What do you think about Zach Ertz?
Not much to think about Zach Ertz right now.
Oof, poor Zach.
I mean,
Zach
what is
Ertz.
has Zach Ertz like? Has he done anything? I don't
He's
have
done
his stats
his
up.
best,
I mean,
but
I mean, yeah, his targets are okay.
Aren't they trying to trade him right now too?
Yeah,
that's
hopefully the
been a
Pats for you
rumor that
guys,
circulated.
They're trying to trade for like a guard on the Pats.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, tight ends are so weird, man. Because like
Ertz
he's
is out-
actually not
out
been
for
putting
3
up
to 4
that
weeks, by the way.
bad for a tight end, except for 1 week where he put up 1 point. But
Yeah.
man, that team's just so bad.
Yeah, the Eagles.
That team's
Ertz
just
is
so
division.
bad.
Ertz is also out 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's true. Oh wow, yeah. So, ooh, that's really not.
I just drop him then.
Yeah, drop him.
To be quite honest, I just drop him then.
Yeah.
And his
He's not worth a roster
his
spot.
ever-present tight end competitor is coming back off the waiver wire, I believe, this week.
Off of
Would I be
IR,
right?
you mean?
Oh yeah, off of the waiver wire. Yeah, off of IR. He might be coming off the waiver wire in your league if you're looking for a tight end.
Sure is.
Yeah.
He'll be good.
We all want those tight ends from the Eagles.
Dallas Goddard will be
We
good though.
want all those
especially
Eagles
with no
passing
competition.
options that aren't Fulgham.
Yeah. Especially with no
right.
no Ertz though, I see Goddard doing well.
Yeah, Godale could really have a. He could really shine. Maybe he could take over the role, and maybe Ertz doesn't even find anything to come back to.
Right.
Let's talk about another tight end and get into another team that we need to talk about here. The tight end I'm referencing is Gronk. Gronk is on the Bucks, and he had a vintage Gronk game last week versus the Packers. He really smacked him down. He had the spike, did it with the left hand instead of the right. Looked a little awkward. Said he was working on some shoulder soreness, so he's at least still sticking with the spike. It's a classic. But yeah, Alex, what do you think about Gronk now?
Not much more. If you watch the game, they are forcing the ball to him still. He doesn't look like he's this amazing tight end who's just like making great plays. They are trying to throw Gronk the ball. It's plays for him. When they're not like up by like 31 points, I still don't see a Gronk as a guy to start. Still, I'm not convinced.
So you're saying that it's not old like 2012, 2013 Gronk out there?
No, no.
What? Jamie, you think any differently? You think that this is the return of prime Gronk?
No, same thing Alex said.
What?
I mean,
You guys don't think this is prime Gronk back?
I mean,
honestly,
think that he's back?
him and Brady looked real happy to make their
What?
connection for the touchdown or whatever. So maybe he'll just
If you guys, if
force
you guys
it to
can't
him.
tell, I don't think prime Gronk is back either. I think this is kind of
Prime Gronk will never
maybe
be
a
back.
once or twice off deal.
Prime Gronk can take 5 years off and he won't be healthy enough to be Prime Gronk.
Yeah,
to retire again in 5 years.
Yeah.
Too old.
But yeah,
Poor
I
Gronk.
don't know. I
Love the
mean,
guy,
they looked
but
they
yeah,
looked
it's-
happy to make that connection, so maybe they'll have a little more like hype and chemistry towards the
Yeah.
situation and work in some work. But no, it's nowhere near enough for me to even consider picking him off waivers.
I don't know.
Right.
I'd keep an eye on him. I think if I was desperate at the position, I might be considering it more than I was before. But yeah, I'm still not. I'm still not
It
sold
kinda
on the
goes-
return of Gronk.
It kind of goes back to what I was saying about Andrews though. Like maybe I'd want to pick up Gronk if I was, say, projected to lose a game by like 20 or 30 or something. Hope for that
Mhm.
random pop off.
Maybe.
So
What about the other pass catchers, Jamie, on that team? Let's give me your thoughts on Godwin and Evans, because we both thought they were. Well, we all thought they were going to be like, these guys are going to
Stars.
be like top tier wide receiver ones. In every
Right.
draft, they're going as like the 10th and 11th, like not 10th and 11th pick, but they're
No, it was
going as top
close,
10
though.
wide receivers.
It was
Yeah.
like a 15th pick.
Yeah,
You
that's looking back. I thought at the time that's a little high. Looking back, that's crazy high. Jamie, what do you think? Let's dive into these receivers.
yeah, I definitely. So of the two, I actually want Godwin more. I
Yeah.
can start by saying that for sure. I think they have not performed up to expectations at all. They've saved a couple of games by. I think you remember the game. Mike Evans, 2 yards, 2 receptions,
Oh, of
2
course.
touchdowns. Yeah,
Yep.
like touchdowns are just saving some of these bad score performances. And some local DJ Moore hater. I think I'd rather have DJ Moore than either. Right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And I'm still,
I don't know
and
if
I'm
I go
still-
that far.
I'm still sort of low on him, even. So that's what I'm saying. I just don't really like those players that much right now at all.
I still think I'd prefer to have the Bucks receivers over DJ Moore. I think I'd prefer Robbie Anderson to the Bucks receivers, but
Oh, of course, but that one's less funny.
yeah, I would rank that Anderson, Godwin, Evans, DJ Moore.
Moore.
Alex, what do you think about the Bucks wide receivers
I
options?
mean, they've just been hurt, so it's tough. Godwin's barely been like was at 2 weeks
He's had 2
playing
off.
3 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
It's
definitely
just-
missed 2 weeks.
He's just he's not playing that much. Mike Evans had one bad week, and that was last week when
When
they only
Jamie
threw the
played
ball
dumb.
for like 170 yards because they didn't need to because of their
Yeah, Aaron
defense.
Rodgers was throwing for him as well.
Yeah, so I don't know. Mike Evans, I still think is he's a top guy. Godwin, he's got to be healthy. I think he's playing next week. I think he's questionable, but we'll see.
Probably play.
Uh,
They probably want to get them on the field
but
going
they
forward.
both won't be. I don't see how Brady can make that work.
Yeah, I think we
Well,
need
you
to.
have
I think we
one
need to
pick.
realize these are wide receiver twos.
Which one would you pick, Alex, if you could choose one?
Mike Evans right now because
Really?
he's played way more. He's had one bad week.
True.
He's done good in all the other ones.
All right, let's talk about another wide receiver, another team with a lot of options on offense. Juju Smith-Schuster is back to hurt you again. Last year, he was taken super early in drafts as a like top 5 wide receiver. Jamie, what happened with
Not that
Juju
big,
last
but
year? You want to fill us in?
Just like a top three.
Last year I drafted him at 18 last year. But yeah, so basically the thing with the Steelers is they have a ton of different receivers right now, and any one of them could be the guy that has the game. And if you are sending all your coverage at Claypool, it's going to be Washington. If you're sending your coverage at Washington, it'll be Juju. And, you can keep that triangle going with insert various receivers here that are just slotting in. So Juju is sketchy because he's in that same situation as last year where you have to start him because you either gave something up for him or drafted him super high. So, yeah, he's just that trap of, is he going to get you 2 points or is he going to get you 30?
I'm looking to trade Juju if I have him just for name value at this point. Like if I have Juju on my team, I'm looking to get him off my team, even if it's not for full value right now. Like I don't want to be in that guessing game with at least with him because I feel like I can get something for the name.
I didn't even mention that one. Deontay Johnson's coming back this week.
Yeah, I would way rather have one of the others and try to get rid of Juju because I think the others you can't get as much for just because of name value. Maybe Chase Claypool right now because people are still pretty hot off the 4 touchdown game and he had a good performance last week.
Right.
Alex, what do you think about this Steelers situation and Juju specifically?
Jamie said it. It's a good offense, and you can't predict it, and so you just don't know. He could be great to start, or he could be terrible. You can't. But that's bad. You don't want that, right? Like a boom or a bust.
No,
so.
not so much.
No,
sometimes you do, but not from somebody you drafted as high as Juju. I feel.
So Juju's been, I wouldn't start him right now.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Okay.
I mean, if in like something like daily fantasy sports, like I feel like the players like James Washington are like super cheap right now. And I feel like they have the same amount of potential to go off as Juju. So I feel like if you're looking at it from a daily format, you may as well just buy whatever Steelers receiver is the cheapest. But as far as real fantasy goes, it's very sketchy for me to try to hold on to Juju. I think I agree with Tom that I try to trade him.
Yeah, Juju's had 2 good weeks, and not even like that great. So has not had a good season so far.
Right.
Do you think
not a lot
Alex,
of targets, to be honest.
Do you think he stays with the team next season because they have Claypool, Deontay Johnson, Washington's coming out?
He loves the team.
Yeah, he's already care about fantasy.
He's already said he wants to.
No, I'm not talking about fantasy. I'm talking about like money wise. Like he needs a new contract.
He's already said he loves the team and wants to stay there and be a Steeler for life.
Plus the team's good now, so
true.
They are definitely good now. They look very good.
I remember being mad actually one year, last year I think in fantasy watching. It was like an important game and Juju had 3 catches for 15 or something, and he was like wicked hyped on the sideline, hyping up all his teammates and stuff for getting all the catches. I'm like, damn it, Juju, I needed you. So no,
those could be my catches. Yeah, those could be good catches.
He doesn't mind not getting the touches. Is what I'm getting at here.
Yeah, he wants to win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. What about Alex? Another wide receiver. I'll throw to you. What do you think about Marvin Jones?
Oh, Marvin Jones. He did so well last year too. So this has been sad. But Galladay is the guy which we knew. But when he's been out too, even Jones has not played well. Like I'll pull up his stats right now. He's on my team still, unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
the weeks that he's been out has still not even been good. So Marvin Jones is like he's not startable. He has no value right now. He's just not good.
He doesn't even get like the touchdown chance because I feel like he wants to target Hockenson if Galladay's not open in the end zone anyway.
Right.
So he doesn't even have that potential to add like those 7 points on.
So it sounds like we're out on Marvin Jones there.
Out on Marvin Jones, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because he's talented.
He's starving Marvin now. He needs touches. He doesn't get them.
All right. We got one more that we kind of want to dive into here, Jamie. This one's near and dear to you. Oh no, sorry. We have 2 more. Well, we'll dive into the one that's near and dear to you first, Jamie. There's a situation. There's a situation in Washington, and it's Antonio Gibson, or is it? Or is it J.D. McKissick? Jamie, who is it?
As of now, I don't know because it seems like they're almost back to splitting 50-50. In our league, I now possess both of them. I don't know if anyone else noticed that, but yeah.
Yep.
So just in case one
Getting
of them
all
gets
the
named,
touches on the football
in
team.
case one of us gets named or one of them gets named like true starter, but it was that Gibson was being the workhorse and McKissick was like the change of pace guy.
Right.
Right now, though, it looks like they're kind of
Gibson.
defaulting to Gibson's rushing and McKissick is pass catching. And in a PPR
That's not the
format,
kind of split you want to see.
that's not the kind of split
Yeah.
I want to see. I feel like I'm kind of in a Kenyon Drake situation, except I have Chase Edmonds. So
Who are you playing? Who are you playing if you're playing one of them?
as of right now, I still have Gibson in. I'll probably roll with that, but I'm sure I could be coerced to change it. So I really my decision is nowhere near set in stone. In fact, I've
Alex?
flip-flopped a few times.
Yeah. Alex, any thoughts on this big, valuable Washington backfield
Gibson
for the football
is the
team?
guy to start. I think right now things could change, but even target-wise, Gibson, I looked. He's averaging 5, and McKissick is like averaging 6. So it's not that far off, and Gibson is still he gets more
I noticed that
attempts. So
the last two weeks is it now that we've had no Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. This is our second.
Alex Smith and Kyle Allen both seemed to like to go to McKissick so much more than Gibson. I'm really hoping that was just a knowing the player better and having better chemistry with them thing. But I guess
Maybe.
time will tell.
All right. One last group of running backs we want to dive into here real quick. Buffalo, Devin Singletary and Zach Moss. I
And TJ Yeldon,
personally
apparently.
think this is. Yeah, and don't forget TJ Yeldon. Hey, I didn't forget TJ Yeldon. I thought it was a travesty that he wasn't getting work after that great season he had when he replaced Leonard Fournette when he was hurt. But
Sure was.
these two running backs have been very, very disappointing, I think, in my opinion, for what you thought we were getting out of the Buffalo backfield. I'm not starting either one of these if I have the option. Maybe I'm starting Singletary. I'm definitely not starting Moss.
Right.
But I'm looking for better options than Singletary out there. Jamie, what do you think here?
I've been trying to get rid of Singletary in my other league, but yeah, nothing's really coming together for me at all. So I'm still starting him for now. I definitely like him way better than Moss still. I just it was very weird because that last game we were watching, it just seemed like Singletary was kind of getting stuffed, and then they were just throwing TJ Yeldon in to, let's throw it at the wall, see if it sticks, kind of thing. And
Yeah,
it was.
it
And then
stuck.
he started running routes. He got an end zone target for a reception
Yep.
for a touchdown. I was very baffled by that, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
But hey, there it was.
well, he was so consistent too. Week like 1 through 3 or 1 through 4, Singletary had like a consistent like 10 to 17 points, which is fine for a running back that you get in the 5th round. But
Great.
yeah, it's has not been
Disappeared.
it's
Dried
yeah,
up since then.
Ever since Moss got hurt, you think Singletary will get more work, but no, TJ Yeldon puts his freaking vulture hat on and just walks up into the locker room or something. I don't know.
Alex, your thoughts on? Can I get your thoughts on Buffalo?
they don't like a Singletary, and I don't know why. Last year, they had Frank Gore. That was just like was getting more
They
touches,
did that.
which is weird because
I
Yeah.
remember that. Oh God.
yeah. So
Very
I don't know
strange.
why because they just don't like Singletary, and that
Because Frank
offense.
Gore is the best.
Yeah, they have not found what they are yet. Josh Allen is inconsistent, and that like hurts.
Hey,
to, like,
you're talking about
the whole team.
MVP candidate Josh Allen.
And
there.
yeah, okay.
You watch it. You
In
watch
what
it.
world?
He's gonna the world with Aaron Rodgers and I don't know.
The
Russell
world where they
Wilson.
only play the Jets and
Mahomes.
the Dolphins. Yay, Josh Allen's so good.
He's definitely better than those teams.
Oh no, we gotta play the Chiefs now? Uh-oh.
God, that's Derrick Henry's music.
So,
All right, yeah. I think that about wraps up what we wanted to talk about today. Any other little bits of fantasy stuff you guys wanted to talk about real quick before we go, or?
just a brief thing I want to throw in. I was saying waiver wire pickups last week. Tim Patrick on Denver. He has established himself as the number one. He's the alpha there, and he is going to get points. If he's still on your waivers, pick him up.
Poor Jerry Judy.
Yeah, he's been going.
Hey, if we're
Judy's
talking about
trending down.
waivers, if we're talking about waivers from last time, I remember when we were talking about the rookies that have impressed us. I said Chase Claypool, and you know what Chase Claypool did the Sunday after that?
The thing.
He did the thing, and he did it like 4 times, and then a little more with it.
Yeah, he
Alex,
kicked
anything
ass.
anything you were right about? You want to toss out there?
I think I was wrong about everything.
Oh, I'm so sorry
That's
that
the
this has
spirit.
happened to you.
So I don't even know what I said, but
That's a
even,
great note to end it on right there.
want-
dude,
I
I
was
said
wrong.
like, oh, Rodgers has proven he's the real deal. And I was shitting on at the start of the year, and then he comes out and he looks like he's the fucking worst quarterback I've ever seen.
He's coming off the
So-
bye week. He's
If-
coming
if
off
you
the
want,
bye.
I
You have
They're
seen
good off the bye week.
Joe
You're
Flacco
good
take
off
a
the bye
28-yard
week.
sack. He's not the worst quarterback you've ever seen.
But you're supposed to come off good off the bye week, and that was their first real challenging team.
Do you want me to link my video below of why Blake Jarwin's going to be the best tight end this year? If you want to talk about
yes.
wrongness.
I
My
mean,
poor son.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that. Okay, I think that about wraps it up for today. Thanks for sticking with us for another episode, anyone. Jamie, you want to take it from here?
Yeah, sure. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Alex, thanks for coming on.
That's
Thanks
it.
for having me.
Like, comment, subscribe, please. Let us know what you agree and disagree with, and thank you for watching.
See you next time.